What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about life here in the United Arab Emirates. So if you are planning to come here, live here or work here, then keep watching. So let's start with how did I get here. So I went here in 2015, so that's close to 5 years now, and I got here with working permit or working visa. So there's also another option to enter the United Arab Emirates. They're not really that strict when it comes to the immigration. So you can come here as a tourist. Some of my friends went here as a tourist and then they ended up liking the country. So they decided to find a job and convert their visa to work permit. So that's actually great because in other countries, it's not allowed to work while you're on tourist, or you came here as a tourist. There's no option to convert your visa to a working one, but here that's okay. All right, so if you want to come here as a tourist, then be ready because there will be a lot of documents required as well. So that's also one thing that you have to consider. All right, so next here is house rental. So this is actually one of the most expensive things that you have to consider when you are here in UAE is the housing or the accommodation, because housing here can be a lot expensive, but this one varies in terms of the emirate or the city. But where I live is like 45 minutes away from Dubai, so basically it's not really that pricey compared to the city center of Dubai. So there is actually an option to go for a a huge room, and if you can afford that, then you can take that by yourself or get your own flat or apartment. Or if you're tight on budget, then you can choose the option to get a roommate or join others who are already living in that specific room. So that's also the trick there if you want to survive or if you want to save money. All right, and next here is finding a job. So probably you're thinking that since this is the land of opportunity, then what you have in mind is how to apply, or is it easy to apply for a job? Now that also depends. Based on my observation here, most people will apply online, or if they know someone from that company, then they will contact that person and they can be referred to go on for an interview. So there's tons of websites now. I think there's JobStreet, there's LinkedIn, there is even Indeed, and there's also an option to go for a job fair. I think they announced that on their website or on social media like Facebook or Instagram. Or you can just walk into if a center or a hub where they do some mass hiring, then you can also go there and then have the on-site interview. All right, now when it comes to the application here, okay, most of the time they will require you to be there and then wait for the result. So interview first, like a live physical interview, and then there you're going to be asked if you are shortlisted to come again. So I suggest you to live in a place where tons of opportunities or openings are available. Like for example, me, I live far from Dubai, so here in this city there's less opportunity for jobs with high salary. So if I have friends who just visited me here as a tourist and wants to work, then I normally recommend them to go to Dubai or the nearest places so that they can easily get there if they are required to come over for a physical interview. All right, so next is the salary. So salary here depends on the nature of your work or the industry, like food and beverage or hotel. What else in IT, so that really depends. You just have to do your own research on the package that the employer is offering to you, whether that's enough or not. So by the way, one of the things that I notice here as well is that because in the Philippines they might hire you because of your experience, but here they actually look at your experience in the UAE. All right, so if you do not have that, if you are a newcomer here, then they might not consider your past experience. So you have to be ready and do some negotiation when it comes to the salary. Okay, next is the food. So surprisingly, one of the things that I like about this country is that fruits and vegetables are very affordable, and also, you know, dairy products, so you can kind of abuse those substance or ingredients when you're trying to make some food or dishes. So it's very accessible and it's affordable, and they even have this weekend offer, you know, in every supermarket. So I kind of have that practice that if I want to go to groceries, then I would normally wait for like the weekend. And the weekend here, I'm talking about Friday and Saturday, and you can get a really nice offer for like fruits and vegetables and any other essentials. Next is the language. So a lot of people are like thinking that, okay, I do not know Arabic, I do not speak Arabic, so I cannot go to Dubai, which is wrong, because here English is fine, you know, everybody can speak English, and for those who do not speak English, normally they should be able to comprehend and relate to what you're trying to say. The only trick that I can recommend is to make sure that you use simple words of English. So here, me and my friends, we sometimes have to like look for the, how do I say, the easiest word that you can think of if someone doesn't understand that, so that you can interact well with one another. So in terms of my job, I am never really required to learn Arabic, because I actually have a friend in the Netherlands, and she said she works in a factory, and she doesn't really like that, but she has no choice because she doesn't have that language certificate for Dutch. So in UAE, it's not the case. Normally, people are fluent enough to understand or speak English, as long as you know, you kind of what you call a vibe with them in terms of the slangs and the words that they use sometimes. So for example, I'll give you an example here. Like here, they kind of they abuse the word coming. So for example, they don't use the word it's arriving, you know, they're just saying it's coming, you know, or it's like, are you going, you know, it's like coming and going is like the usual words that they use for something that you know, they cannot think of the right one. Other words that I can remember, okay, you always have to say salam or assalamu alaikum. That's like the greeting of, it's like saying hello, or it's like saying peace be with you. This is actually particularly for Muslim people, but nowadays like everybody can say that. And then, you know, I remember like when I was new here, we were required to reply correctly whenever someone is, you know, talking to us, and then began saying salam. Okay, so other than that, you know, everybody can, you know, like freely speak English, and that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, and then next is the people here, or the demographics. So the best thing about Dubai is it's very diverse. So this is like a mixture of tons of cultures and nationalities, you know, like I don't know, because I've never been to another country where there's a lot of immigrants, but here you can meet a lot of people from, you know, different parts of the world. You know, you can meet Africans, you can meet Asians, you can meet Europeans and Americans and Latinos, you know, all those nationalities. And then, you know, it's kind of what you call it, it's interesting on a daily basis. Like for example, I work in a company where there's like 1,000 people, and like 50% of those are immigrants, and then or I would say no, I would say like 90% of those are immigrants. And you know, like most of the population are probably Arabs. And by the way, there's not so much Emiratis or like local Arabs here. Most of the Arabs here are sometimes from other countries, like for example Egypt, Palestine, like Syria, Yemen, you know, these neighboring Middle Eastern countries, and also some Indians and Pakistanis. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I've never met someone from Armenia, but here you can meet Armenian people, or someone from Uzbekistan, but here you come across people who are from that country. So it's amazing how people from around the world are, you know, like living and working in one country. Okay, so for me that's very interesting. I don't know with you guys, but if you want to discover another culture, then this is an opportunity as well at the same time while you're enjoying your life here. Next here is the weather or the climate. So I cannot complain so much about the climate here because basically it varies, and most of the time, since now I'm currently working at home, I am usually staying at home by myself. But if you go out in the summer, it's extremely hot, and humidity actually changes. It depends on the month, but it's like 7 months of the year is extremely hot, or I would say extremely nice. The winters are, it can get really cold, and the summer can get really hot. But the good thing about the buildings here and the infrastructures are equipped with air condition most of the time. Like if you want to go to your work, or if you want to go to the pharmacy, supermarkets, and even like small cafeterias, they're also equipped with AC. So it's not like you're gonna spend the whole day like under the heat. All right, so that's also things that you have to remember. Now next here is the clothing. So I know you guys are thinking that, okay, so I've seen this white dress for men and then black dress for ladies. Like, do we really need to wear that? Absolutely not. I've worn one, but that was like for a festival, and that's about it. Now the white one is for men, mostly worn by locals or the people who are born here. And but everyone is welcome to wear that. Like in my office, there's tons of people or colleagues of mine who are wearing kandura, and I don't see any problem with that. For ladies, it's called abaya, the black one, where they cover the entire body, including the like a head scarf. And ladies are also not allowed, or ladies are not required to wear those. But if you want to wear them, then that's okay. They're going to be very happy for you if you wear that, and if you are non-Arab. And then for ladies here, I would say depends on the emirate. There are some emirates who are pretty strict when it comes to like wearing shorts and bikinis in the beach. But in Dubai, there shouldn't be any issue. But from where I live, it becomes an issue for my colleagues who are girls and who are Filipinos, because normally they're being called by HR and advised to wear proper clothing. All right. But if you wear the appropriate one, like I normally don't wear shorts, and basically when I am at work, I wear long sleeves, and that is actually fine as well. So you can wear t-shirts as well during weekends, so that's okay. No one's gonna bother you really. All right, next is safety and security. So I feel very safe here. Living here, I did not encounter any crime, like actual crime, and I feel very secure as well, because like I said, majority of the people here are expats, and expats are usually scared to commit crimes because when you get in jail, it can get really expensive. And at the same time, even traffic fines can be really expensive, like over speeding, or like just if you get in trouble, police might catch you really quickly and they might give you a fine, which is unbelievable. So people gets really scared about it. So that makes this country one of the safest, I would think, because of that policy and rules that people should follow. Next is recreation. So here I've tried to go to the movies as well, and I normally go to the malls every month, and they have huge parks and some recreation areas as well. And talking about malls here, if you have been to the Dubai Mall, then it's extremely huge, and there's also tons of malls as well. And one of the things that we like to do here is to do desert barbecue, like during weekends, because it's allowed to do barbecue in the middle of the desert, and the temperature is quite different there. It's really cold during winter, so we just have to have all the equipment that we need, and then we enjoy a barbecue there overnight. So that's just fine as long as you have a car. So that's one of the things that we do. At the same time, we usually like to go to the beach, and then even cook our food there, or like do barbecue as well. And what else? I believe that's about it. Alright, so that's about it for today's episode, guys. I hope you've learned a lot from this. If you have any questions, please drop some comments down below, and for sure I'll definitely answer that. And if you want to be the next one to know more about my next upload, then please hit the bell icon. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So thank you very much. Until next time. Bye.